Nah, leave it like that. Get to your drawers. His pants ain't even taken. Nah, leave it like that. Get to your drawers.
The caption says 40-year-old mother takes her 10 kids to spend her $2,000 in EBT.
My bad.
Yeah, like put that back. You're not getting that big old thing of Beastie Bar. Hand, let me see what you got. Strawberry candy in your hand. What you doing? Look what this girl got in her hand. You can get a small box for that price.
She really got a job.
Come on, you ready? Come on, put your head up, Bob.
A mother of 9 who went viral for sharing large grocery hauls online says her food assistance benefits have been terminated. The woman...
The caption says EBT canceled for woman who bragged about spending thousands each month.
Says her food assistance benefits have been terminated. The woman, known online as Girlquake, gained attention after posting videos showing shopping trips and large purchases made through the SNAP program, commonly known as food stamps. Some of her videos showed grocery bills reaching hundreds, and in some cases more than $1,000. The videos quickly sparked debate across social media. Supporters argued that assistance programs exist to help families in need. Critics questioned whether the system is being properly monitored. Now, the woman says her EBT benefits have been cut off. She recently shared videos showing smaller meals for her family and expressed concerns about providing food for her children. Meanwhile, federal officials say they are increasing eligibility reviews and fraud detection efforts within assistance programs. The debate over public assistance and government oversight continues to divide opinion online. What do you think? Should eligibility checks for public assistance programs be stricter? Let us know in the comments. A mother of 9 who went viral.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, we're talking about eligibility checks and fraud detection. Technically, on paper, I guess there is no fraud in these two instances that we just reviewed. And what I'm referring to is, I mean, you have a mother of 9 kids, and then the first one was a mother of 10 kids. No fathers in sight, no man in sight. So, honestly, that's not fraudulent, because how could you expect any reasonable, normal person to be able to take care of all them kids? I think where the fraud comes in is before we get into that situation, because what we need to understand is, how are you having all these kids? You didn't just get on benefits on child number 9, child number 10. So where the fraud comes in my mind, that they need to be trying to detect earlier, is you were on the program already, which means you fully understood that you could not take care of yourself and the responsibilities that you already had. But then somehow you keep still winding up pregnant. That's the fraud we need to address and detect, and ultimately hold accountable. There should be something. Listen, I wouldn't be surprised if these ladies was on food stamps when it was just them with no kids. So if you're already on the program and then you pop up with a kid, you pop up pregnant, now there needs to be some accountability so that we can address this early, so that it doesn't keep getting out of control like we see it now. And there's a lot of people who will openly admit that they get pregnant on purpose just to enhance their benefits. So that's fraud, and that's something we need to detect. But I think we ultimately just need to stop pretending like it doesn't exist and pretending like it's taboo to even talk about. And we need to start asking the questions, and we need to start trying to understand, why did you think that was okay? Okay, do we need to take away your adult card? Are you not able to make normal adult decisions that don't sabotage your life and then end up having implications on not just the taxpayers, but even these kids? These kids have to live in these dire circumstances that you keep putting them in, and you keep making worse for the kids you already have. Y'all, before we get into the next clip, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. It only takes a second and it actually helps out more than you know. And also if you could hype the video, but definitely if you could like, because it's only a click. Super easy. But let's get back into it.
When are y'all going to go and snap? If they can take away these snap benefits, when is we snapping? When is the day? When are we snapping? When we snapping? Because don't have me going in the grocery store and y'all loading up y'all carts with groceries, running out, and I'm at the register. I'm running too. I'm running too.
Go ahead and play 178. We got a bunch of these examples. 178.
Yeah, I told y'all, with or without EBT, me and mine gonna eat.
Clock it. Of course we gonna eat.
On cuz now. We gonna eat.
Now we're just at the phase where we're openly
On cuz now. See, and this is the problem too that needs to get addressed. See, she thinks that's cute. For her son to be walking around talking about on cuz them, looking like he was about to throw something up. If you don't know what I mean by throw something up, some type of signs. Now, who thinks that if he had a father who was in the picture, he'd be walking around with his pants hanging down talking about on cuz them? It wouldn't happen. And this is also what we have to address, because y'all keep choosing to be single, choosing to have kids with the worst that society has to offer because you think it's cute. The same way you think it's cute for your son to be exemplifying that same behavior that you're attracted to. And it's because you want him to be wild and reckless, because there's no man in the house. So in your mind, your son is about to be your little gangster protector. That's really, see, and this is what we don't talk about. That's really what it is. She wants her son to be ready to start handling businesses and ready to crash out at anything for his mama and all this, so that she has that protection. And she thinks it's cute, and it's not cute. And see, this young man, he should be entitled to have a productive and successful future. But you're positively reinforcing negative behaviors that are going to have long-term implications, and that he could probably already be putting self-inflicted wounds on himself right now, putting things on his record, getting into trouble. And even if he's not necessarily in trouble with the law right now, he's still building up these terrible habits. Imagine if he can start learning his vocabulary. You know, I was seeing a lot of people talk about how all these kids is illiterate. They don't read. Man, let me tell you something. I was like, nah, it's not that bad. Man, I saw a little compilation of these kids trying to read. It was boys and girls. And they could not read. They could not read words at all. Like complex words where you actually have to sound it out, I guess. They could not read. And they were just making up words in the place of other words. They weren't even trying to pronounce it. And I was like, oh, this is bigger. This is a bigger problem than I thought. I'm like, goodness gracious. But hey, let's get back into it.
Yeah, I told y'all, with or without EBT, me and mine gonna eat.
Clock it. Of course we gonna eat.
On cuz now. We gonna eat.
now we're just at the phase where we're openly admitting shoplifting.
Why can't we just say, like, okay, so they get a gigantic federal program to give them free money in return for doing nothing, and they're going to extort you and say, if we don't give us more free stuff in return for doing nothing, for being fat lumps of crap, we're going to go and steal a bunch from stores, which we already essentially don't punish, because God forbid we punish people who commit crimes and break laws. And as a result, you have countless cities in the U.S. have the toothpaste and the deodorant behind a freaking locked door, because otherwise people steal them all of the time.
So basically, we're in the 28th day of the shutdown. Come November 1st, SNAP benefits will terminate for more than 40 million people. Blake,
That's all.
So this is a little bit of an older clip, but at the end of the day, the sentiment still remains that the behavior that we're addressing, that's going to have long-term implications on these children, as well as just the logistical challenges and circumstances that they have to live under anyway, because you keep having children. Because these children, every child, you already know that's about 7 years right there. Under the new rules, probably under the old rules, you had even longer. But under the new rules, you're like, okay, if I have a baby now, that's 7 years forward, I get taken care of. And I don't have to do anything. And I can be a lazy lump of whatever he just said. And this is the problem. And this is what we got to start addressing.
I live off the government. I don't need you guys telling me to go to work. I obviously know I can go to work if I choose to, but I'm not going to. I don't know how to get this through your guys' thick skull. I am never going to work. I will live off the government for the rest of my life.
Oh, honey, that's so sweet that you think that's going to happen. This was posted a week ago. Apparently, she hasn't been informed of the new changes that are being put into place. And when her renewal comes up, I have a feeling she's going to get a major reality check.
I have plenty of money this way. Why would I ever choose to go to work?
I mean, she's not wrong. There's a lot of people that have that mindset, which is why there is a lot of generational poverty, where generations of families are just on food stamps, on Section 8, receiving welfare benefits. It's because previously it has been just so easy to get comfortable and stay there, but things are changing. So we'll see if she has to go out and get herself a job.
You guys don't get is that we have income. We're not just sitting on our asses all day.
Didn't she just say she wasn't going to go get a job? She just totally contradicted herself.
Therefore, we get that income plus our food stamps, which is 50.
Yeah, she's talking about her income. You just got to read between the lines. Look at what she's on right now. She's on TikTok. She might get some TikTok income, some online income. She didn't lie. She probably don't got a job. She might be getting a little check from social media or whatever, because she's doing rage bait type of content. And so, yeah, she's got that, which I wouldn't doubt that she's probably not reporting. But regardless, the unmitigated gall to be able to think that you can come online and spout this nonsense that she's trying to spout, regardless if it's rage bait or not, I think that really just shows what the overlying problem is and how egregious it is and why we've been having all these things come down. And so these regulations that come down, they hurt everybody. They don't just hurt the bad actors. They end up affecting everybody because we don't have time to be trying to be nuanced anymore, because this is out of control, as we can see. And so when we get mad at people, we don't need to be blaming the people who come in and put regulations, the people who make the laws, all of these type of things. It's people just like this that you need to be trying to hold accountable, who came on here and they're already getting taken care of by the majority. And even now, they're only thinking of themselves because they're not thinking of the other people who actually need the benefits, who they're going to negatively affect and impact because of their actions. Because why? Because she wants to make a little bit of spare change on TikTok so bad that she'll destroy her reputation and she'll become another data point of the bigger problem, which then brings visibility to the fraud. And now why we're seeing such large crackdowns en masse now. And it's selfish all the way across the board, no matter how you look at it, no matter how you take it.
Contradicted herself.
Therefore, we get that income plus our food stamps, which is $1,500 a month.
Is she reporting that income? Is she?
Or
is she on here admitting to fraud? Could go either way. Let's find out.
Every single month. So yeah, we're living large and in charge over here. So you all can just shut up. Quit telling me to get a job. I will not be doing that. I will not be taking that advice. I will not be.
She said, is she reporting the income? You didn't know? They don't report. It's funny. When it's time to report that you have some income or that you got a job, all of a sudden people didn't know the rules and they didn't know they had to go and report that. But every time they lose a job or they lose some income, all of a sudden they know exactly how to go and report it and exactly how to add it to their file. I always find that amazing. All these people, when they're like, when I got on the program, I didn't have any income and I had just got laid off. And then it had been 8 months. And then I got a job. And then I got a letter in the mail 2 years later talking about my income. I didn't know that I was supposed to report that. I thought they just supposed to know. They just going to update it. But yet, anytime you've ever lost your job, you knew exactly that you had to go and update that and let them know so you can get your benefits as fast as possible. Ain't that incredible?
I will not be taking that advice. I will not be. No. Just because you're not as smart as me to live off the government does not mean that I should have to get a job. So keep that in mind. Have a great day and shut the fuck up.
She has got to be a rage baiter. She cannot possibly be for real. Because if she is for real, she might have just admitted to some things on the internet she probably shouldn't have. The next time you're in line behind someone causing chaos over an EBT card, just remember, it's not your service.
My husband and I live off the government. We don't work. And this morning, it's Sunday. This morning, I asked him where he wanted to go eat lunch because we always go out to eat on Sundays. And he sat me down and he said, I think it's best that we stop eating out on Sundays, considering Donald Trump got elected and pretty soon we're going to be without a paycheck because he's not going to give us any more money. It wasn't until he said that it hit me how much this election affects our family directly. Because now we're both probably going to have to go get a job. And so we're going to miss time with our kids. We're going to miss time together. It's just devastating because before our country was so great. People could just live off of the government. You didn't really have to work unless you wanted to. But now with Trump, he's going to force everybody to go to work. And I don't think people realize that how devastating.
It's so devastating. It's so devastating. Before our country was so great. She just gave us a great indication of what type of person she is. And audience, understand you could have people like this in your own family. Oh, it was so great. Our country was so great before. This is how your own family, your own friend group sometimes will be treating you when you're doing things for them. And then the moment you stop, it's like they never did anything. You never did anything for them. Oh, you were so great before. What? Now you're just a piece of ish. I don't like you anymore. You're mean, you're rude, whatever, just because you say no. That's the type of person that we're dealing with right here. See, you've been abusing it. You're talking about y'all were getting more time with your family and being able to do whatever y'all want. And it sounds like even going out to restaurants and doing all these type of things. And now you're worried about what's going to come down and what is coming down. Listen, the parade is over. It's over. You're going to have to move on to something else. And see, that's the problem when it comes to these benefits. You're feeling comfortable, but you don't understand just how volatile your situation actually is. Because you're comfortable, they're taking care of everything. But ultimately, you're not actually, or you shouldn't be able to save anything. Because once you start making income and you have enough to where you have more discretionary income, then the benefits ideally will start getting dialed back because you should be getting on your feet. And so now when it goes away, because laws can change just like that. So now when it goes away, now what you're about to end up is you're about to see all these years that you wasted. And now you're actually not going to have anything to show for it. You're not going to have any savings. You're going to have to still start from ground zero, but you're so comfortable and you've grown accustomed to the lifestyle that you've been living, because it seems like if you meet a certain poverty threshold, then it actually becomes an incentive. And then you actually get to live better than middle class Americans, is what it appears has been going on for all these years and decades. But that's no longer going to be the case. You're going to have to take a certain degree of personal responsibility. And so I hope you're prepared for that, but it sounds like you haven't been prepared for it, because the program honestly isn't set up for you to be able to prepare for it. Now, we do see people who maliciously and egregiously take advantage, like we were just saying in that other clip where she has this unreported income allegedly that she could have been stashing away. But unless you've been doing that, which I wouldn't put it past you, you're about to get out here and you're about to see and have to be responsible for your decisions. And it sounds like you all are going to be very energized to be able to work as much as possible, because it sounds like you all have been living really good for a really long time.
Real quick, while I got you here, when did all of us become so successful to the point that none of us qualify for food stamps anymore? When did that happen? Yes, here's the thing. I'm proud of us. I mean, we're obviously evolving, but damn, somebody.
When did all of us think that it was socially responsible to just roll up out of bed with your bonnet on your head and come online and start talking? Where did pride go? That's what I want to know before we start even talking about any of this other stuff. Because first impressions are extremely important. And your first impression, you look like a French chef. If the head thing was white, you look like the stereotypical cliche chef that people used to talk about. But we know that's not what's going on. That is an egregious bonnet, man. That bonnet looks crazy. So why should we take you serious when you come online with that thing on your head? This is what she looked like with that thing on her head. She got a chef bonnet. For what? I don't understand. I really don't.
Here's the thing. I'm proud of us. I mean, we're obviously evolving, but damn, somebody got to have stamps. You trying to tell me out of all of us, we just all got our shit together? I mean, I love that for us because that's the goal. But eggs are $98 a carton. I know I meet the criteria for food stamps. I don't make enough, and I'm tired. I know I can't just be me. We're all too successful to get food stamps. Somebody need to be at the back of the pack. Somebody needs to slow the success game down. Okay? $98 for eggs. What?
You know what I want to address? Because she's talking about we're all too successful to not need food stamps. Let me tell you something. We saw the first case would appear to be a single mother with 10 kids. The second case would appear to be a single mother with 9 kids. She's talking about some we're all too successful to not qualify for food stamps. What I hear a lot of y'all saying is y'all all too successful to not need a man. But as we can see, you wouldn't have this problem if we had a household together where it was 2 people working together throughout life. That's actually how things are supposed to be designed. And what you will find is you would absolutely be able to survive and thrive under those parameters. We're all too successful to not get food stamps. Why do I hear so many women who are actually saying they're choosing to be single mothers? When I say choosing to be single mothers, they're wanting kids. And then they're even wanting to have kids with the scumbags that they're having them with. But then they want to be single and they want to still maintain their autonomy. That's what we need to address. If you're in such a survival state, why does it never just occur to just do the natural thing? The natural thing. And just actually get with a man. But see, you would have to act right, too. You would have to act right. You would have to listen. If he says, baby, don't go online with that thing on your head ever again. It shames our family. And it reflects on me. Then all of a sudden he'd have to deal with no. Yes, absolutely. It's a lot of people struggling out here. And that's more the reason that we need to come together. Or you need to come together. Because you complaining. See, I don't like beggars can't be choosers. Complainers can't be choosers. You complaining that you feel entitled to something outside of yourself. And I'm coming with a solution. The most obvious solution, might I add. But a solution nonetheless. I'm coming with a solution, so don't get mad at me because I didn't come on complaining. Listen, I don't complain because I take full responsibility for myself and for my life. And so you're not going to see me complaining because it's on me. It's on me. But then you come on complaining and you're putting it on everybody else. So now, well, let's address some of your philosophy, some of the things you're living by, because you might need to reevaluate some of those things and make concessions.
Part 2 to things people on
His caption says, if you're on EBT/food stamps, you should not be going out to eat.
food stamps shouldn't be doing. Going out to eat. Do you understand why you're on food stamps? The state looks at your income and say, hey, we need to give this person some money for some food because the money that they're making does not equal enough to pay all of their bills.
That's true.
So I don't understand. And then listen, when I'm saying going out to eat, I'm telling you, you would save so much money. That food that you're going out to eat, it costs so much cheaper to cook it at home. I swear, try it. It takes nothing to cook food. I swear to God, man, you throw some seasoning there. Go to Walmart today. Buy some Slap Your Mama seasoning. Get the original blend. The other one is a little spicy, but Slap Your Mama seasoning. I don't care, bro. Ground beef, turkey, don't matter. Throw that shit in the pan. You can do 3,000 meals with just ground beef itself or ground turkey. So I don't understand why y'all out here wasting. I'm telling you, go on there DoorDash. You're letting your kids order up DoorDash all the time. They ain't ate a 3-course meal and I don't know how long. When was the last time you learned about the food pyramids? And when you sit down and eat a meal, you should eat a meat, a bread, a fruit, and a fucking vegetable. When the last time you did that? When the last time you gave your kids some fucking...
See, and he's speaking logic. And see, this will be the guy in your family who will be speaking the truth, speaking logic, telling you what you should be doing, because it sounds like he's talking to people in general, like people he knows. Like, you could buy all this with that. You should not be going out to eat when you're on government assistance. This is what this represents and symbolizes. And you know what happened if he was around his family and he was telling the hard truth like this and he was being real and he was actually telling them what they actually should do in order to improve their situation? They would shut it down. Boy, be quiet. We ain't hearing what you're trying to say. And meanwhile, he'll continue improving his life and getting all the results. He might look dusty right now, but let's come back in a couple years, because clearly his head is right. So he'll continue on his trajectory, continue getting his results. Ideally, even if it's your own family, man, if they're doing things like that, they ain't living right. You have to protect your space. You have to protect the people who are in your immediate circle, because it's going to rub off on you, especially if they're feeling above correction. How are you in destitution feeling above constructive criticism? That's what I don't understand. You should be trying to take all the advice you can get from real adults, because we need to stop calling some people, not everybody. Some people can fall on hard times. That can happen. But when we see people who habitually want to be able to live like that and want to be taken care of, well, then now we have to understand, are you a dependent? Because you want to be dependent on something. And, sir, that is actually the reason why they still go out to eat and why they still go out on cruises and why they still take trips, even though when you're on government assistance, what that represents is that you can't take care of yourself. The reason why they do all these things still is because they have no intentions on getting off of it. So because they have no intentions on getting off of it, they still want to live their life, because they see this as a permanent thing that's never going away until they die. So they're not just if they're going to be on it forever, then they're still going to live their life. They're still going to enjoy the nicer things in life. They're going to find a way. And that's how you get people selling their food stamps, doing all type of things so that they can come up with some cash to be able to do the extracurricular. But see, people who understand that they've just hit a rough patch and have fallen on hard times, they have urgency and they're trying to hurry up and turn their life around so that they can get the ball moving and start snowballing towards actually getting stable and then actually thriving in society and being productive. But see, if you see somebody who doesn't have a sense of urgency and who is still doing things and living like they're not in the position that they're in, what that tells you is that they don't have any intention on giving it up. And so they're trying to maintain a delicate balance so that they can continue to get their benefits, but also still be able to enjoy some of the nicer things that life has to offer.
So I wake up on June the 2nd, waiting to go get my food stamps, my cash, all that. I look at my account, all of my shit is gone. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but somebody is around here taking all the food stamps off niggas' cards. I just seen a video with a girl. She's crying, she's upset, or they took my money and my food stamps. People have to feed their fucking kids. So I don't know who the robber is or what the fuck you think is cute, but you're gonna have bad luck because you don't do no shit like this to a bunch of single ass mothers taking care of their kids. They stole $895 from me. I called the police. Welfare is telling me I have to get them a police report and all this. I gotta go through all this when it was this easy for them to take my shit off my card. If y'all see that I can't be in 5 places in 5 different bedrooms at one time, why are y'all allowing these purchases to go through? We must blame them too because they're fucking stupid. And at this point, I think it's somebody at that office who is stealing our food stamps because there's no fucking way. You can't convince me, but tell me who I tell.
You can't tell nobody. You're just going to have to get another card.
I'm taking full advantage of it being summertime and that I work from home and all 6 of my babies can stay home with me because it is now 12 o'clock and we just recently woke up not too long ago. So we're able to sleep in. Oh, thank God, because waking up at 5 a.m. every single day, Monday through Friday, is not for the week. Okay, baby? And now I'm ready to cook breakfast. We'll make an actual brunch. And we've been doing that lately. Like, I've been finding myself every single day lately, the last week to 2 weeks, making brunch because we're sleeping in all the way until like 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. Yes. Now, how are you guys surviving this summer? How? With all the food these kids want to eat, I've been spending at least $500 a week on groceries. And baby, I reapplied for my food stamps and I'm just praying they approve me and it kicks in because your girl needs some help. I'm a single mother of 7. I'm trying my best with 2 businesses and this shit ain't no joke, okay? It ain't no joke.
Excusez-moi. Excusez-moi. A lot coming at you. You got to be paying attention. So first off, you're sleeping until noon. Ain't that nice? But then you're talking about you got 2 businesses. How you got 2 businesses, but you qualify for EBT food stamps? So business number 1 is probably she's a TikToker. But you don't know. The point of a business is to generate income, generate revenue. If you still qualify for food stamps with your 2 businesses, then that means that your 2 businesses aren't generating revenue. So that means that you are trying to find ways to make income. You are trying to work, but the work that you're putting in and the effort that you're putting in is futile. So with that being said, that means you need to go and take a more conventional approach. And by conventional approach, I mean that means you need to get a job so that you can actually bring in income. But people want to do the fun thing. They want to go join Streamer University and quit their job and drop out of school and try to become a TikToker. Life doesn't work like that. If you wanted to be living your dream and becoming a viral sensation, then you should have just stayed single and not had no kids so that you can just be selfish and focus on yourself and focus on your dreams and aspirations. Y'all, we're going to leave it there for today. If you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. It only takes a second and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you could hype the video, hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button and it shows the points. And since I'm a smaller creator, a smaller channel, we actually get more points per hype. And hype was designed for smaller channels, so that's why. But if you come across a video and you don't see the hype button, then it's probably been over 7 days, and hype usually vanishes after 7 days. So it's usually best practice, if you want to hype, to just go ahead and hype while the iron is hot on a new fresh video. And then also, if you want to become a member, join button is on the video. And what becoming a member of the DXU family would come with is you would get badges next to your comments where it would show that you are a member anytime you leave a comment, as well as you would get early access to content. And you would also get exclusive content that is not available for everyone else on YouTube. So again, if you want to become a member, join button is right there on the video. But until then, I'll see you in the next video.